Welcome, my friends, guests old and new, to the Nightmare Archives, where chaos and horror reign supreme. If you're seeing this transmission, know you have stumbled into a world of monsters difficult to escape. But no matter, while you're here, I happen to be in need of a new assistant to run things around here. Any objections? No? Great, you're hired. It's time to clock in, and first up, your orientation, a film on the perils of violence in the workplace. Tensions can get high. Things can get out of hand fast. It is always important to make a safe, non-threatening environment, no matter how much you may want to punch your coworker in the face. But what I ask you do you do when that calm cannot be achieved? This is what today's film is all about. Without further ado, prepare yourself for Mayhem. 2017's Mayhem, directed by Joe Lynch and starring Stephen Yeun and Stamara Weaving, tells the story of two people after homicidal revenge against the executives who have wronged them. Complicating that matter, however, is that everyone else in the building has also been consumed by the same madness as them. But what could be the cause of such anarchy? You see, in this world, people are plagued by a horrible virus. This virus cannot kill, but what it can do is so much worse and even more fun. It shuts down the part of the brain that operates impulse control. As you can imagine, this leads to horrible violence as people start listening to the voice inside their heads that tells them to punch or scream at their coworkers. I would never, you say. Sure you wouldn't. Even the nicest people have limits. The effects of the virus create a localized purge scenario in which the affected cannot be held liable for anything they do under the influence of the virus, known as ID7 or the red eye virus, for its telltale sign of bloodshot eyes. To blame for this loophole is the consulting firm TSC Consulting, who through their work established the precedent. TSC is as shady as they come, with the ruthless top brass having scary code names like they're in some kind of crime gang. Our main character for the evening is unlike the others, though. Derek Cho actually wants to do some good, but is held down by the corporate structure, who only care about how much money they can make at the end of the day. He meets a woman and attempting to save her home from being foreclosed, but he refuses to help. He goes back to work, only to discover he's being framed for a consulting job that went bad by a person above him. That person being Tara Powell, the cutthroat director of operations, nicknamed the Siren for how much sway she has with the CEO. Derek finds himself fired, but before he can be escorted out by security, the building is placed under lockdown by the authorities, who have detected the virus inside the firm. They institute an 8-hour quarantine before the virus can be destroyed. Almost instantly, an order completely collapses within the office. With knowledge of that loophole, and without the inhibitions to stop him, he tries to get to the executive suite to plead his case, where the board known as the Nine are, before being stopped by corporate bruiser Colton the Bull Snyder. Colton nearly kills him before being snuck up upon by Derek's best friend Ewan. Unfortunately for him, he gets pushed back and his head meets the pointy end of an exposed nail. Don't worry, though. I'm sure some ibuprofen will fix that right up. Yeah, no, he's dead. Derek gets knocked out by brass knuckles in the aftermath and thrown into a makeshift jail, where he meets the woman he refused to help earlier, Melanie. It's been said by someone at some point that the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So they form an alliance to take out their common enemy. After exposing the scheme that got him fired, and breaking out armed with a nail gun and other assorted weaponry, they make their way to their first stop, the office of Lester McGill, head of HR. Nicknamed the Reaper for his cold demeanor and his appearance being a harbinger of firing for employees who are unlucky enough to see him, before they can get it there, they're caught up in the chaos when someone gets a lucky shot with a taser on Melanie. Lester takes a moment to reaffirm his commitment to the company's non-discrimination policy before retreating to the office, where Derek and Melanie corner him. In a heated battle, Derek gets his hand impaled by scissors, while the greatest kill in this movie takes place, at a shot I'm not entirely sure how much I'm allowed to show you. The Reaper takes a power saw straight to the chest, in what looks like a pretty bloody mess. They certainly didn't fear the Reaper, but there's no time to order blue oysters right now. Time's running out, and they have a mission to complete. With only a few hours left, the Siren decides to betray the executives despite their offer of partnership in the firm. Figuring she was going to do this, the board double-crossed her back, promising her assistant a promotion if she destroys the card. The resulting commotion, resulting from the, I guess, quadruple cross, leaves them both dead. To replace the needed keycard, they get a loyal IT guy to wipe up a member of the board's hard drive and exchange a backup for their keycard. They meet with her, but when she refuses to sign the papers voiding Melanie's foreclosure, Melanie destroys the hard drive. After a fight with the bull and the executive leaves the bull dead from a screwdriver to the temple, Derek pretends to betray Melanie to trick the board member into giving up that keycard and the code to the elevator to the executive suite, while Melanie takes care of that board member. Offers him partnership in exchange for giving up his crusade. Upon seeing the foreclosure papers, though, he refuses. He fights CEO John Towers as a quarantine winds down, getting the upper hand and trapping him on the balcony. He asks the board to vote on whether he should kill him, and they all vote yes. As a reward, the remaining board members offer him CEO, a position he takes only long enough to avoid the foreclosure. Him and Melanie then start a relationship as the movie ends. Well, did you learn something? I certainly did. Mayhem is one of the greatest horror films of the last 10 years, in my opinion. Samara Weaving does as great in these type of films. 2 years after this film, she would star in the film Ready or Not, a film of the same genre. That film genre being blood, guts, and comedy. That film too was great, but this episode isn't about that film. Maybe someday, friends. Curator's rating, 5 out of 5 stars. I hope you enjoyed your stay at the Nightmare Archives. Until next time, friends.